Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Marie.
And you're with Get Real Estate with Liz and Marie. And today we are not together. We're each on our own location because we had some other activities that were blocking us from being together. So how are you doing, Marie?
I'm doing pretty well. Yes, I'm excited. I'm about to take a trip up to Las Vegas later. So driving out here soon.
I know. And tell them real quick what your special skill is. You have a lot of special skills. Well, what special skill is taking you to Vegas today, Marie?
Oh, me and my husband and a couple of our friends are going to compete in a pool tournament. So billiards. We're actually in a 9-ball tournament specifically. So it should be fun. There's 6 of us on the team.
Well, what isn't not fun in Las Vegas? Seriously.
Well, that's true too.
And here's my thing. You go to Las Vegas for different things and you have a whole entirely different experience. You go with girlfriends, you have one kind of experience. You go with your husband or your spouse or whatever, your significant other, you have a different kind of experience. You go with the family and kids, you have a whole different kind. So I don't know what the pool type is like, but I'm sure it'll be a lot different.
It's lots of fun, but it depends. I mean, the crazy thing is we can have a team event at 9 a.m. and then we can also play at 2 p.m. and then again at 9 p.m. So it's kind of like they're kind of dragged out long days of playing. So until we get eliminated or we win the title, who knows?
Win the title.
Yeah.
Right? The power of positive thinking.
Yeah, then my husband will be a 2-time world champ, Liz, and then his head will be so big. I don't know if we'll fit in the same room.
I think that's awesome. That's awesome. So, yep. Visualize it. Be sitting on top of your cheese, eating it. So,
yes.
Good.
So
okay,
that's so
fun. Real estate market? Yeah. Well, how's the real estate market looking this week?
Yeah, so we'll go through some numbers and I want to remind everyone, you can check out our blog on our website later to get all this data and all this information kind of written up. But yeah, the active number of residential listings in Maricopa County overall has gone up again just a little. There's 47 new listings, so we're at 6,975. But again,
more people can get a home.
Yes, 47 more people can buy a home than they could last week. But it had, that's increased now a couple weeks in a row, even though they're small increments, they will add up. So I do think that the market is starting to just slow down just a little bit, like Mia was talking about in our other call last night. And yeah, I mean, as far as median list price, it really hasn't changed much. It's $489 right now, and average days on market is 49 across Maricopa County. I will say though, and we went through, I went through all of our major cities that we look at. So Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Chandler, and Mesa. And the average days on market has actually increased either 1, 2, or even as much as 4 days just in this past week. So I find that that's a little bit interesting that previously, there's been a little bit of up and down, but the number of days on market is gonna start to slightly increase. And I think with that slight number of houses hitting the market increase, we'll just see where the market goes from here.
Yeah, and on with what we talked about last night, this again, some of it's seasonal, but some of it there is a little bit of a flattening of the housing demand. But in some of the articles that I was reading, there's still an issue with labor and with supplies. And so sometimes some of this stuff is just catching up and people are just getting burnt out on it. They're going to wait, this rat race to try and find the house isn't worth it right now. If I wait, a few months, maybe into the spring, early winter, something like that, they might have better luck or something.
Yes, and like you said, I mean, it is seasonal out here, so it will definitely, go up and down, and we'll see throughout the holidays how it keeps up. So it will be interesting to watch. But, last week we made a comment that the city of Scottsdale, the price had increased by like 50,000. And we were like, oh my goodness, that's huge. Obviously there's the higher price point out there. Well, guess what? This week it came back down 49,000. So
what
much.
Does that tell us? It tells us there was a very expensive house probably sold that raised that and then wasn't, didn't have that big chunk of sales.
Yeah, either that or someone just, reduced their price because they realized maybe they weren't getting it. So yeah, there could be a lot of different reasons that changed, but I just thought that it was funny that it was literally up 50 last week and down 49 this week. So right back to where it was. 900,000 is the median list price there right now. And everything else has stayed pretty consistent in all the other cities, no major changes. The rental market as well has continued to stay pretty strong. Not really any like major decreases in rent anywhere. And I think, again, like we were talking about the other day, there's still a lot of people moving here. So I think the rental market will stay strong for a while. Just with the increase of people that want to live in the Valley of the Sun over here, right?
Oh, there's so many. I don't remember the number, but let's say 10,000 a day. I don't know. There's a crazy number of people that move here every day. Or every month, yeah. I should say, not month, not day, but it's crazy. So yeah, we're not going anywhere. Phoenix is not going anywhere. So just because there's a flattening or a small, doesn't mean much.
Nope. And again, the data that we're sharing right now is just weekly data. That's what we've been trending over the past few weeks. And as we go longer, we'll start showing the annual, monthly and annual trends. And so it will be nice to see where it takes us.
Right.
So other than that, there was couple of big news articles that I found that I wanted to share with everyone. So one major thing is, I don't know if everybody knows out there, but if you are a landlord, the CDC, as of August 26th, that moratorium on evictions has been lifted. So here in Arizona, there were no other, city or local or state issues. So once that federally passed, Arizona courts have started to schedule those court hearings. So if you've previously filed for an eviction and had to wait till the moratorium has ended, you can now get that court date, or you can go in and obviously file some new claims if you didn't put it on your list before. Right. But that will be interesting. Although there was one caveat to that, which we noted, and through September 30th, there is an ongoing moratorium on evictions if you have applied and received a mortgage forbearance. So if you have a federally backed mortgage, Fannie, Freddie, FHA, any of that kind of stuff, and you've applied for the forbearance on your mortgage, so you're not paying your mortgage, then you cannot evict your tenant. So that is just a little caveat that's kind of important for people to know.
I know. So I want to say something on that, because one of the articles I read, there's still, like I just said a minute ago, a labor shortage. People are begging people to come out and work now and find work and have an offer for work. So if your problem was before, which was a true problem, I mean, we experienced it myself, and there was a job loss within that. Now there is a plethora and plentiful jobs out there. So it's now time to go out, reestablish yourself, and get it taken care of. So there's just so much, besides just the surplus of it or the shortage on materials sometimes that's happening in the housing market, the labor, it's the same thing. I mean, they just can't get the laborers out there to build some of the houses. So it's causing a slowdown.
And that's not just in the housing market. I mean, there are labor shortages out there. So I don't know if so many people just got complacent and are happy with whatever checks maybe they were receiving. But I know in the restaurant business, I constantly see people looking, and everywhere. I mean, I went shopping the other day and at Dick's Sporting Goods and wherever. I mean, everywhere has up signs that they're hiring. So if you're looking for a job, Phoenix is a great place to come to. I mean, we're hiring all over the place.
And it's just time to get out and start living life again. So,
right?
Right. So it's
true.
good.
Yeah. So another
fun fact. You got another good fun fact that I like.
Yeah, well, we have another good story on some local.
Or not, yes, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah. So Zanjero Falls, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a 3-story just shell of a building out by Cardinal Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So, I mean, Glendale is not one of the cities that we're usually marketing in, but it obviously is, a very well-known city out here for the Cardinal Stadium, the hockey arena. And so there is a whole entertainment district out there in Glendale. And so this particular property was just purchased by a local investor that is going to change what it was intended for. It was originally intended to be medical and office suites out there. And now it's going to be converted into over 300 apartments. So I think that that's exciting, especially again for the upcoming, development in Glendale, and just having housing to support the people that work in that entertainment district.
Well, and that's exactly it. And then we do have the Super Bowl coming back here again. And that's another draw in any major city, any NFL city, but then having the Super Bowl come back. And the city of Glendale has been kind of, I don't want to say put on notice, but the NFL has said, you need to step it up over here a little bit. They have this entertainment district, but they needed to really expand it and make it, where it's a driving thing the week before the games and, get it in there. And so I think having those apartments out there available for people, like you say, whether it's the workers or whether people are going to stay out there, I think it's great.
I know. Actually, now you brought up a good point. I wonder if some of them are going to be Airbnbs, Liz.
So you'd be like, maybe we need to buy one.
Maybe. That's a good point.
But it's huge out there, and that's it. The city of Glendale is so well known for that stadium, but they need to, make sure that they're not just the stadium, that they're entertaining people in all other aspects to get them out there. And that's what the NFL wants to see too. And so that game alone brings in a ridiculous amount of money. So even though you might only get it every however many years, the residual effects of it are amazing.
Of course. And, I know that they've even made comments, and this brings me back into my engineering days, but of getting the metro out there, getting service in so that not everyone has to drive to the stadium. So that would be huge, if we can eventually get the light rail service out there, and some apartments and some other reasons to go out there. I think that's just great for what it will do for the city of Glendale.
Yeah. So I think it's good. It's very good. So glad to see it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we usually end with a fun fact, although this week I'm just going to call it some local news because I don't know how fun it is, but it's something that I know is very dear to my heart.
Yeah. And it's a reality. It's a flat out reality.
Yes. So, as troops are coming home from Afghanistan right now, there are some local nonprofit organizations that are here to help veterans, any survivors of any war and all veterans that come back after service. So there was a local article on AZ Family that we're going to showcase in our blog today, and just wanted to touch base a little bit on so everybody knows about them. But one of them is called Operation Shockwave. So if you're not familiar with them, they are a nonprofit that is dedicated to preventing military and veteran suicide. So again, like Liz said, just a reality, of it's hard to adjust and adapt when you come back.
I want to say something super quick about that. It's not even everybody coming back. I think the events that have happened in the last month and the last few weeks are affecting the veterans that were there at one time or fought for something, and to see it deteriorating and ending the way that it is and so heartbreaking, that has to spark some stuff in them again. Like, what was it worth? What did I do that for? And so I think that could bring back some PTSD or something. So
of course. Yeah. Definitely. I think when you've been through anything that's that traumatic, anything that can trigger it, and this I'm sure will be a trigger for many veterans. So, I mean, check them out. Operation Shockwave is one of them. The other one is called Survivors of War. They're located in Mesa, Arizona, and their claim is to help rehabilitate veteran survivors through a program they call Faith. So it has to do with, forgiveness and moving on. And they have an acronym for Faith. So it's really cool. I think everyone should check them out, support them in any way that you can, whether it's through donations or if you know anyone that, can use the support. Definitely check out both of these organizations. So Operation Shockwave and Survivors of War. Just wanted to give you a local shout out and hope that you can help many, many people.
Yeah, thanks for getting those, because that was great. I think it's super important. It just doesn't go away poof. So
yeah, I know.
Good.
So I mean, that's pretty much it for our local. I did read some articles too that we didn't post in here about. There's all this stuff with the pricing of lumber is really coming down, but it hasn't made a change on the Home Depot shelf yet. And kind of why is that happening? And there was a little bit of explanation on just, it's all future based, so like commodity based on future orders, right? So just right now with the supply being low and the demand being so high and future orders are already in place. So even though they're saying the price of lumber is coming down, you're not going to see that change in Home Depot anytime soon.
Well, hopefully by the time I need it for my house.
Yes.
We'll see.
I know. Speaking of which, are those plans getting looked at right now by the city?
How the city? Yep, they are. Yes, they are. They're in. So, but there again, it goes back to the supply or the labor shortage. I mean, they're short staffed down there, and there's a lot of building permits, and there's a lot of housing permits going in, and they can only do what they can do, and they still have to do it safely and up to code, and so I get that it's frustrating on our end, but I certainly don't want them to overlook something that we've done and then it causes a problem down the road. So like I say, everywhere there's just the labor shortages. So also I guess if you're looking for something new, now might be the time.
True.
If you're ready to change it.
Yeah. So I guess, if you're looking to sell a property, always check us out, lizandmarie.com/save now. Just put that link up there for everyone. And, Liz and I are here to buy your property, especially if you're one of those landlords that is trying to evict one of those tenants and looking forward to that. Over.
Yeah.
You've had enough.
Yes, truly. Yeah, and we have different financing options. So it's not just sell. There's some creative financing that we would be happy to coordinate with and, kind of almost partner up with the landlords too. So it's important to know that.
Yep. Yeah, so check us out. We have lots of different opportunities. I hope you enjoyed this week's market update. And, it's a little weird not having you just by my side to look at, Liz. I'm going to say.
It's more fun. I like being next to you. That's all right.
But next week, we'll be back in person together. So check us out.
Yep.
In the meantime, Liz, show everyone your new peace and love.
Oh.
Show them.
Kind of put it on my arm. Peace and love.
Peace and love. I love it. It's now not only her slogan, but it's on her arm forever and ever.
My life. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, Marie, have fun. Safe time up in Vegas. And I hope you win. I hope you win.
I do too.
Fun.
We are.
I do too.
All right. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay. Peace.
Peace and love. I got love on my head.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.